Brodes Media.
Brandon Graham is a very, 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 very smart man. He's been around this town for a long time. He knows what it's like if things get out of hand with the media. He knew what he was about to say into that microphone way before that show began. There was a purpose. There was an agenda. He took this to the media with the intention of making it very public. You only do that if it's so bad behind the scenes that this is your last crack at it. I don't want to hear that Brandon Graham doesn't actually know what's going on and he referenced that in his take. Come on. Brandon Graham is probably maybe Lane Johnson, but outside of him and Lane Johnson, they're the most important pieces to the culture of the Philadelphia Eagles. I promise you, he knows what's going on. And this is the same as when a team has a closed-door team-only meeting and it's your last rallying cry to try and save a season. Most of the times, it doesn't work when that's the case. When you have to shut everybody out, start screaming at one another, throwing chairs, and airing out all the issues in a closed-door players-only meeting, more times than not, you sort of know where this is all going, but it's your last-ditch effort to see if there's something you could maybe potentially squeeze out of it. That was Brandon Graham's philosophy. That's how I'm reading this. Because once again, BG has been through it all. Think about where this franchise was when he first became a draft pick and where he is now. He's seen it all. There was a purpose. And I don't think he, quote, made a mistake. I think he knew exactly what the intention was, and he felt it was necessary, or else he would have never done it. That's my read on it. They were friends before this, but things changed. We know about their bond. We know about their friendship. They were friends before this, but things changed. It's actually maybe even worse that they were so close and then now there's so much turmoil. Some look at that as a positive. You can get through this. If they have that special bond, then they can work through these issues. And I would like to think you're right, but sometimes because the emotions are so strong, this is where it could get uglier. Whatever is happening, it gets so intense because there was so much love, because there was so much care, because there was such a deep connection that the fact that it gets fractured, it's such a draining level of emotions that it makes it more difficult to actually get over the hump. You would think that there's no way football would come between people that are this close to the point where, it's breaking an entire locker room, even with missed throws. Could Jalen Hurts be so petty that we are screaming, how do you not see the field? But in reality, Jalen sees the field and his agenda is just, I'm not getting him the football, and that's how bad the relationship is. Now, that's an extreme. Do I really think that the competitor Jalen is, that he just feels, I'm not even going in his way, even though I know he's open? I doubt that. Now, I don't know how he doesn't see AJ, considering he's the number one option on all your reads, and he's open. But I have to at least throw that out into the ether, because what if that's the case? Then we got a serious issue with Jalen. It's like, dude, you're that petty? It's wild. The friendship thing. I'm not speculating about what couldn't be if it wasn't football. I'm not going down that road. That's not for me to do. But what I want you to hear is what their friendship was like the moment we found out that A.J. Brown and Jalen were going to be teammates. Listen to their reaction on FaceTime when they were seeing each other going, yo, can you believe it? This was the extreme opposite of where we are right now when they were pumped up.
What's happening, man?
Hey, let's do it, man. Hey.
Boy.
Hey, let's do it, man.
Say no more.
Think about that. Think about that. Now let that sink in where they once were and where we are now. Take a listen again. 12 seconds.
What's happening, man?
Hey, let's do it, man. Hey.
Boy.
Hey, let's do it, man.
Say no more.
Come on, man. We've all had that time with the boys, and you got your one or two best friends, and you have that stupid laugh where it's so contagious you just can't stop laughing, and, it just goes overboard. That's what that sounded like to me on that FaceTime, and now we're wondering if they can even communicate with one another. BG's making it seem like Jalen's trying, but A.J. Brown isn't holding himself accountable, and he's not being respectful, and he's not being responsible, and I don't know how it gets there over football targets. There should be frustration. There should be people bothered. There should be people annoyed that they're not moving the football as well as they need to in the passing game. But to the point where maybe now you despise each other? Something may have happened that we can't even fathom outside of the sport and outside of the locker room, because that's the only thing that I feel could ever break a duo that had such a strong friendship. And they always do say that it's always difficult. They say this more in college. Think about when you were back in college, right? Let's say you were going to college with your best friend. People say you never want to be roommates with your best friend at college, maybe being around each other too much. It gets a little sticky. You get under each other's skin. You get on each other's nerves more because you know what makes you tick and whatever. Is that mentality maybe a way to correlate what we're seeing between these two on the football field? I don't know. So that's number one. Number two, we can't let the personal side get in the way of the business. See, the reaction the night of on social media was, no, BG just accidentally misspoke, as if you're living in Brandon Graham's head. No, BG meant to say you can't let the business get in the way of the personal. No. It's so broken that it is impacting the business side, the football side, the trying to win a championship side. BG sees that, and he believed that this was the best way to try and help because it's that bad. That's what I'm getting. And I want to be clear, there's nothing more I want than to be so off base here. But until I see how they respond to this story, then I don't have anything to go off of yet. As I sit here today, yes, I'm panicking. Yes, I'm worried. Yeah, I think it's pretty damn bad. We know it's an issue. Everybody has seen some things. I mean, how much more damning can it get than that? Now the other 50-plus men have been around these issues where they've all seen something. How toxic is this? Obviously, very fucking toxic. Think about where we are right now. What BG did was jaw-dropping. I heard Ike. I heard Spike. Spike was there on WIP at the time. I heard him Tuesday during the afternoon show. When you hear BG for the first time actually talk that into the world, your brain triggers, oh no, this is going somewhere. Oh wow, hold on, he's still He's still talking. It puts you in a pause. Everywhere I looked, Ryan Clark of ESPN, Colin Cowherd, everywhere. Locker room drama in Philadelphia. This was mind-numbing. How big of a bombshell that was from Brandon Graham. He probably felt comfortable talking to us, the city, the fans. He was at Chicky and Pete's at the time. People are there. They got their BG jerseys. He's talking to the fellas. And before you know it, it's steamrolled. Or he just knew how much attention it would get, and he felt it was necessary to have that many eyes on it because you got to fix it. You're not going to talk to each other alone? You're not going to talk to each other and figure this thing out? Even with the mediator involved? They're going to need a third party. I don't think those two can sit down, have a nice cold beer, have a nice steak dinner, and just get on the same page. This is something that probably calls for somebody else to say, okay, Jalen, how do you feel? Okay, AJ, how does that make you feel? What is your response to that? That's how deep this is. And BG poured it out there, almost says, whoops. Now you got nothing else to do other than fix it.